Hello everyone, it's Jennifer and thank you for coming back. Earlier this week, over the weekend, I posted a video of an unboxing for some beads and kits and just lots of fun stuff from Kellie's Bead Boutique. And I am going to go ahead and put together a couple of bracelets using some of those materials I got, plus some that I had in my stash from her too. So we're going to do a couple of stretch bracelets, and I'm going to use a couple of different stringing wires. I'm going to use, this is stretch fiber. So this is a fiber cord. So it's thin, it's not round, but I've been using these for I've been using this for a long time. And, well, I say a long time, couple years, right? Since I started, working with jewelry, and I haven't had anything, I've never had a bracelet break. And I've also used the Bead-A-Lon, the round stretch cord. So I'm going to make a bracelet using the stretch fiber and one making the stretch cord. This is 0.8 millimeter from Bead-A-Lon. And this one is the Beadsmith Opalon stretch. And what I do with the stretch though is, a long time ago I asked, again, a couple years ago, I asked Kellie from Kellie's Bead Boutique, I said, hey, what is better, the fiber or the cord? Because I've seen her use them in different videos, and she likes the cord. The fiber is good too. And after talking with her, the conclusion that I drew for myself was that if I'm going to be using light beads like lava beads or wood beads or little tiny seed beads, I'm going to use the stretch fiber. And if I'm going to use something more heavy, I'm going to use the cord. So for this bracelet, we're going to make two bracelets, one with the cord, one with the fiber. And the first one we're going to do, we're going to use some of these 6 millimeter matte gray wood beads, some of these 6 millimeter white lava beads, and some 6 millimeter matte dyed jade. So we're going to use some of those. I also made a bail already. I don't have a bright gold bail, so I just went ahead and made one using some German style wire. And then I also have some little rhinestone crystal spacers. I have some little 3 millimeter, 4 millimeter, the Tierracast Hishi metal beads, and Kellie has those on her website. A little heart from Tierracast, also on Kellie's website. I'm going to use, I don't know what head pin I'm going to use. I don't know if I'm going to use a bald one or a flat one. But then I'm also going to use some 4 millimeter fire polish. And this one looks like it's Crystal Picasso, and it's kind of like a brownish color. So I'm going to go ahead and use that in one of the bracelets. And I have some of this yellow colored jade in 6 millimeter. So for these are a little bit heavier, so I'm going to use probably the stretch cord with them, and then I'm going to use the stretch fiber with these because this is just a little bit lighter. So let's go ahead and get started. Something also, tomorrow is Kellie's birthday. So today is May 12th, and tomorrow is Kellie's birthday, and she is offering a discount, a big sale on at her online shop. And it's 25% off of everything except for anything that's already on clearance. She does have an incredible clearance page, and her kits are not included in the sale, and tools. I feel like there's something else too. All right, so I'm not sure how much of the white. The white's gonna go on the back. So I know that I'm just going to need probably, I think I'm just going to use a couple of these, maybe two. Yeah, I think I'm going to use just two. And then we'll save those for later. So I know I'm going to use two. And then across the front, let's use four. We'll go ahead and use four across the front for here. Let me see if I can get this off okay, or if I need to cut it. Let's just go ahead and cut it. Okay, so let's use four. And I'm just going to make it super simple. Something to also consider when you're starting out as far as what you're going to, your beads, where you're going to start, is I'm going to look where there's a large hole so that where I can tie my knot, I can tuck in my hole. And let's look at these. So those are a little bit smaller. So I'm probably going to put my knot in between those two. Or what you can do is you can have a bail or a spacer or something that you can put in between to hide the hole. Now, the thing that I do with the stretch cord, I don't know if it's right or wrong, but what I do is I go through twice. And like I said, I'm not sure if it's right or wrong, but again, I have a bracelet that I have worn for 2 years now, because my granddaughter is 2 years old, and my daughter made it for me, and I take it on and off every single day. When she was small, she would tug and pull on it as well, so it's gone through quite a bit. I have just a really long needle here that I'm going to go ahead and pass this through. And I cut about, I don't know, 18, 20 inches, probably about 20 inches. So I have room to go through twice. And so what I'm going to do is, since I am going to tie my knot in between those two, I'm going to go ahead and start. I'm going to go ahead and start here. And the good thing about being close to where you're adding here is that you saw I didn't measure anywhere. I don't know how many beads I'm going to need for my length, but I do know that I want probably about maybe 7.5 inches or so, just because who I'm making this for. This is going to have just a nice little beachy feel to it, with it being this gorgeous jade color with a couple of wood beads. I'm not going to put anything in between, because I'm going to do that with the next bracelet, where I'm going to add a little bit of bling so that we can stack these if we want to. And these again are 6 millimeter, and I want to make about a 7-inch bracelet. So I'm going to go ahead and get the rest of these strung on that I'm going to use, and I will come right back. Now that I have this all strung, I'm going to go ahead and I want to pass this through once again through the beads, just to reinforce it. And this has worked for me. I'm not sure. I've seen this done a couple of different ways, where you double up, where I've seen where the cord is doubled up before passing it through, and it's doubled up that way so that you have the 2 strands going through at one time, rather than passing it through a second time. I've seen it done that way. This is just what's worked for me, and it's worked really well. And so I'm just gonna stick with what I know and what I know works. So I just have to keep on bringing that together because you don't want that. So you just have to keep on kind of pulling and tugging. And this is the bracelet. If you see, it's kind of discolored underneath. I've been wearing this now for a couple of years, taking it on and off every single day and working in it. And when Rain was smaller, she would tug and pull on it. And so it has gone through quite the beating, and for it to still be in really good shape. And like I said, this is how Sierra made hers, because she made it for me, and she was making these bracelets for the longest time when she was for gifts and when she was pregnant. And yeah, so she's made a lot of these, and she followed this same little way of doing it. And again, you're going to see them different ways. I've seen this done differently, and I've seen different cords, but we're going to use the different cord on the other bracelet. And the other bracelet is going to actually be a little spin-off from one of Kellie's kits that she has available now on her site. It's a bee, I have it, the honeybee bracelet kit. And so we're going to do a little bit of spin-off from that. And again, jump on over to her website if you haven't done so already. And then if you place your order, so if you place an order tomorrow on May 13th, you will get, for her birthday, you'll get 25% off her store, everything except for the kits and tools and anything on clearance. Okay, so now I'm going to go ahead and just make sure that I have none of those little tails or little hoopies sticking out. And now what I want to do is I want to tie my knot, and I cut way too much thread here. All right, so I'm going to tie one knot, and then I'm going to tie another. Then what I do is I will take one end and wrap it around, because it's going to go underneath that second strand, and I'm going to do the same thing, but this time I'm going to do a surgeon's knot. I'm going to go once and twice and just pull that in, and then give it just a little bit of a tug, and I'm going to do one more. It looks like I have plenty of room to do another one. Then what we're going to do is we are going to give it a little bit of a glue. I have some GS Hypo Cement, and this one's actually, I mean, I'm almost done with it. This is the original, so I've had this for a couple of years, and it's in pretty good shape. I just grab this and I wrap my finger around. I take off my cap, and then I just take off my little nub there and just give it a little bit of a squirt. Give it a little bit of a squirt. And I always go ahead and just cut mine off now. And I always just cut it just a little above. And then we'll go ahead and just pass that through. All right, so now we have bracelet number 1. And again, you can add embellishments. I could have added some of these little Hishi beads, but I didn't. I wanted to keep it just like that. All right, so let's go ahead and get this in for the next one. So now we're gonna go ahead and make our second one. And like I said, we're gonna make a little spin off of Kellie's honeybee bracelet kit. And this is what her bracelet kit comes with. It comes with, there's a bail in there. There's some rhinestone spacers. There's some other gold spacers. These are 8mm. And then there's some of, these are not, they're not wood beads. Are they tiger eye? Is that what they are? Yeah, they're not wood. Matte finish. Gorgeous beads. I think I have a strand of those too. All right, and then again with her kit, it comes with all the stringing materials and everything you need. So we are going to make one ourselves, and we are going to use some of these little beads here. Then I think I'm going to make a little dangle with one of these. Could make a couple dangles. And so I'm going to, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to build from, because I can go ahead and put my knot underneath my bail. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm not going to double up. So I don't double up when I'm using the stretch cord. And so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and start stringing. And then we are going to add some wood beads on here. And we're also going to use some of those little Heishi beads, the Tierracast. And Kellie does carry Tierracast. She has a great selection of Tierracast too. And Tierracast is here in California. And Kellie is up in Canada. She's just above Washington. And she is my jewelry making mentor. And she has introduced to me, not physically, but just via Great Bead Extravaganza, to the amazing Neelay Patel from Silver Silk and More. And she has actually, Neelay had a kit, or not a kit, but a Tuesday tutorial that was inspired by one of her kits. So let me see how much I have here. I have about 5.5 inches. And I think what I want to do is I am going to do again, we're copying her. And you notice I don't need the needle for this one. I do not need the needle, and so we're not going to use a needle because this beading cord is strong enough. All right, so let's go ahead and do that, and then we'll do this. Okay, and then we'll see, because then we're going to put that there. So we're gonna almost copy exactly kind of the format that she had, the pattern she had. I love these wood beads. They are incredible. And the jade beads, I don't have the product number for these. I got these a long time ago. And I feel like I want to put something in between there. Maybe another crystal. I'll put a couple more crystals on there. Crystals. So we're going to put a crystal here, and then I'm going to go grab, I have a little cone that I use for sizing. And because you can't simply just, I use the ruler just to kind of give me an idea of the size that I'm going for as far as the length. But the around, okay, so let me go see this little cone here. Let's see how big we are. Oops. Let's see how big we are. We are right at 6 3/4. Okay, and then by the time I pull this guy on, we'll be at almost 7. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to tie overhand and give it a good tug. And then we're gonna do this way, overhand. And then I'm gonna just pull a little bit of tension on there just so that I have just a little bit of tension so so my knot goes where I want it to. And I don't follow the Bead-A-Lon. I don't follow the knot that they suggest, only because I can't get it to work for me. And I've seen others do it in videos, and I just cannot get it to work for me. So I don't do it. Okay, so now there we go. And then you notice I give it a little bit of a tug too, just to make sure that it's not gonna slip and slide. And we're gonna do the same thing we did with the other one. I'm going to give it a little dash, and that's a pretty good size knot. That thing's not coming out. Then I'm gonna add some GS Hypo, and I wouldn't mess with putting it on or off for at least till the next day. And then let's go ahead and just get that little bead cap over, the bail over it. All right, so there we go. And one thing I didn't do that I do when I'm making the jewelry, and I have a tendency to forget when I'm making it on camera, is that it is always a good idea before you start tying knots and start doing your thing, is to make sure that your pattern is the same and make sure that you have it all going the same way. I did not do that. All right, so we're gonna use that, and then we're gonna go ahead and use that. All right, I think I'm gonna use a flat. I'm gonna use a flat, and then I'm gonna go ahead and add, I think I'm just gonna have one jump ring. All right, let's just make sure that guy's in there right, and he is. Okay, so let's go ahead and get our little, nope, that's not it, it's right there. Let's get our little bead done here. And for this one here, I don't want a neck on it, but I am just going to bend it over my fingernail. I come in and get my chain nose pliers in there, and I'm just going to form over the top. I'm gonna twist, form this way, and then I'm just going to bring this to the center there to where we look like a stop sign and not a P. All right, so let's go ahead and get wrapping. I'm gonna go around 3 times. Okay, go ahead and give it just a little bit of a trim. Going to come in, hold on to it there, and then I want to tuck that in. You see how that's sticking out? I need to get that all nice and tucked in and not ruin my bead. Okay, so now we've got that. Now let's go ahead and get this all assembled. So something I do notice, besides the difference of the color, is that you see my bail is going this way, and my charm is going this way. If I were to put this on, my charm would be backwards. So what I need to do is I need to figure out what is the front. There's the front. And I am just going to come in and just turn it. So now I've got that turned, and make sure it's all nice and even. All right, there we go. Let's go ahead and get this on here like this. And then we're going to go ahead and put on our charm. Okay, then we're going to put on our little dangle. And then we're going to come in and get that closed up nice and tightly. And now we have our little kind of Kellie knockoff of her honeybee bracelet kit. And she does have these available on her site. And now we have a couple of bracelets that we made just using a couple of different, we used the stretch fiber for this one here, and then used the stretch cord for this one, added a little bit of dangle. Let's see how that one looks. Oh, super cute. It's a little bit big. I probably should have made it a little bit smaller, but it's for me and I have big arms. So there we go. There we go there. And if I want to, I can go ahead and add something here. I can always put a jump ring on there and get something added. But there we go. Let's go ahead and see if this one will go on. There we go. And there we go. We have some bracelets, easy peasy bracelets. So again, go ahead and jump on over to Kellie's Bead Boutique. If you do place your order tomorrow, you get 25% off, and say happy birthday to her. She has a little notes section when you make your orders, and go ahead and just give her a little happy birthday. Okay. So if you haven't done so already, give this video a huge thumbs up and comment. I read everybody's comments. And if you haven't done so already, please do subscribe. And until next time, have a good one.